Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Marriage. Today we're talking about communication and conflict resolution because we see that they both come together in marriage. And today we will be defining communication and conflict resolution, and we'll be looking at how our backgrounds, our childhood affect how we communicate and how we do conflict resolution. And then we'll be talking about giving you some hints about how to do good conflict resolution and how to develop and improve on your communication skills. So to do this with me today, I have, again, Sam Babatunde, welcome.
Hello.
Kofo Babatunde, welcome.
Hi.
And my dear Yinka Marcus here, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming too. Thank you for watching this episode. So let's begin. Let's begin with communication. What is it when you talk about marriage? Yinka, you want to start?
Yeah. Communication is the ability for two people to talk to each other, understand each other. Sometimes it has to be verbal and sometimes non-verbal.
Oh, great. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Kofo, you want to add to that or give us a...
Yeah, when we talk about communication, there are usually two parties involved, the speaker and the listener, right? And then, and then whatever they're saying in between the two of them. So communication, actually, you have done a good communication when you have spoken to the listener understands exactly what you're saying, you're on the same page, then you have communicated. So I would say that's communication, having understanding and hearing each other, out. Communication.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's almost like nothing more to add. You have to define the speaker and define the listener. And whoever is speaking must be able to speak clearly. Whoever is hearing must also be able to do what? To hear and understand clearly. It's like trying to tune your radio at 88.9 FM and then you go to 88.8 and you begin to hear.
You're not there yet.
You'll be hearing partly, but it's not very clear. Immediately you land on 88.9 like this.
Yeah.
Communication.
Right. Great. So we're talking about healthy communication here,
Yeah,
where
that's the
we are able to
Clearly
say what we
understood.
want to say, be assertive about what you want to say, and the listener, the one who is listening, should also listen and try to understand the message that is being released from what is being said by the speaker. And so the speaker and the listener will go in change spots at different times, back and forth like that, and then you're able to communicate. And it's a skill. We're not all born with good, healthy communication style, but sometimes we just do our style the way we want to do it, and most of the time don't work. And so we need to learn how to do it well.
Okay.
What about conflict resolution? What is it?
Well, because we're in this side of eternity where there will always be conflict, there will be situation for offense or wrongdoing or whatever. To be able to bring, to align ourselves again together when there's a conflict or there's a misunderstanding will be a conflict resolution. So that life can continue, relationship can continue. So there's an offense, but we're able to talk it out effectively. That would be a conflict resolution. Yeah.
Good one.
Good one.
So,
Resolve conflict, cancel it. That means to be able to clearly understand each other, where you're coming from on the challenges, and then you're able to come to we call it an us solution, an acceptable solution, let's put it that way, to the two of you in resolving or wiping away that conflict, putting it behind you, and then being able to move forward. Because conflict is like an obstacle. You reach a bridge, there's a conflict here. the road is saying we should go right. The answer is, how do we resolve it? So you have to resolve it before you can do what? Before you can move forward. Yeah. Otherwise, it becomes like a problem under the carpets, and it keeps on piling and piling and piling.
That's good. Good one.
I think you used a very nice example the other time. I think from what he said earlier, conflict resolution is a way to be on the same wavelength.
Right. Wow.
Frequency and wavelength.
So,
Frequency and wavelength.
Yeah, good,
That's
good wavelength. So of course, good conflict resolution brings us there to be in the same wavelength or to a better wavelength together. And we're talking about that in a marriage, there will be conflict and conflict, and we are going to need to be able to resolve conflicts as much as possible. So there's a skill. There needs to be a skill that we need to learn how to do this very well.
Yep.
So now, before we get into the skills of healthy communication and conflict resolution, let's look at how our childhood or our backgrounds impact us in the way we do conflict and communicate. Because we know that with conflict resolution, we need good skills of communication.
Absolutely.
To be able to communicate the conflict and come to a resolution. So how then can we begin to watch our backgrounds and how they affect us in our communication?
Well, you know, you only know what you've learned, right? Whatever you have and what you've lived through is what you know. You didn't choose where you were born, but you found yourself there.
Yeah.
And whatever operates there is what you think is the best or the only way. So our backgrounds is very, very important. There's some people who come from a background where people don't talk. If there's an issue, you keep it in. That's how to be a macho or a bold person or not a weakling. You know, you don't show your emotions. So if something is happening, there's no word about it. So some people come from a background where it's just stonewalling or silent treatment that they use and say that something is not right here, so you need to get it without talking. And then some people, conflict, you know, the way they handle conflicts, maybe the fights, the shouts, the bang doors and all that. And that's all that this guy or this lady, you know, grew up with. So they're bound to take what they grew up with into the marriage. But does it work? No. That's why there has always been conflict growing up. Communication has been hard. So it doesn't work. So they need to re-strategize and, you know, there's a balance that it's not what happened to you that matters. It's how you react to it and what you take away from it. So, yeah.
That's
So
good.
in that way, yeah, definitely your background will affect communication and conflict management or resolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and further to that one, if we now give ourselves to what she just said to say, it's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. You can react to it from your family background, but you can also react to it from picking up wisdom from other sources. Reading, listening, connecting with people, notable figures in your environment, whether it's in church or in neighborhood or office places. I seem to be picking some brain from what this guy is saying or doing or how they're going about their lifestyle. Then you juggle them together and bring them before the Lord, and God will give you a direction for which way to go. So bottom line is still that, yes, you can have an effect from various backgrounds on your style of communication, your style of resolving issues, whether it's stonewalling, cold treatment, whatever, beating up and caressing, anyone that you want to use. But you now have to sit there and say, which one will produce me a good result? Because I need a resolution so that I can do what? I can move forward peacefully and successfully.
Yeah, it's so interesting though that how our childhood experiences affect the way we are today. And it's not like we're pointing fingers at our parents or whoever brought us up. We're not saying they did wrong or whatever. It's just our own, for us to understand why we do what we do. And also not only to just recognize it or identify it, but again, to move forward and be better people and to find out how to do it better. And so yeah, those things can affect, and also we look at it from our spouses' sides too. That, oh, if you come from a family where they're always fighting, and then you get married, and your husband or your wife is always like, yeah, whenever, this is only the only way she or he knows how to do conflict resolution is to do the physical. And so, and it's true. These things happen, really.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but they do happen. And so this is where we need to now sit back and say, okay, why is this person doing this?
Yeah.
And let's find out how to resolve this, and how to change from this, and how to be better versions of yourself.
Yep.
Any?
Yeah, for sure. I think it points to one other main thing, that the Bible says that the two shall become one. We talked about living and cleavage at some point, right? You know, and so unfortunately, our parents, for most people, our parents are our heroes when we're growing up. So no wonder we imitate them sometimes. But when we've cleaved and we're together, we should do things that are better for us, right? That for our own family. But the background certainly plays. It's nature and nurture for sure.
So now we want to talk about the skills, conflict resolution skills or communication skills. So let's take it from you. Sam and Kofo lead the marriage course, and there are so many things there that people come and they get those nuggets and things, and a lot of it, what you teach or what you facilitate, has to do with communication and conflict resolution.
That's correct. Well, let's start with communication, because it's communication that will lead you to conflict resolution. Because if you're not talking about issues, you can't resolve the issues. So in communication, we teach, through the marriage course, that the most important thing in communication is understanding. Because if you don't understand the person, first of all, listening, we call it effective listening. So it's not just effective communication, but effective listening. Because when you have listened to the speaker without distraction, then you'll be able to get what they're saying by reiterating it back to them, by reconfirming that, okay, in the communication, so the communicator, the speaker and listener. The speaker says something, you listened. And after you've listened, don't just go away with what you've heard, because you may have misunderstood. So you need to relay what the person said. Okay, let me get it now. You said this, you said that. Is that what you said? Yes. Then you have an understanding. So you can run away with that understanding. So when you do communication like that, you find out that it will reduce conflict. Now, if there's a conflict, maybe I'll leave that for Sam to talk about the conflict. Because communication part of it is that you're speaking, you're listening, you understand, effective, no distractions, when you're talking. Yeah.
And I think it's key to re-emphasize on that the most common mistakes we do in communication are people just run off with their own interpretation of the issues. And many a time you run off tangent, you run off with misinterpretation, you run off with your own ideas, and you leave the speaker confused, bemused. You say, it didn't even allow me to land, or he didn't get what I'm trying to say, and he's gone off already to start looking for wrong. So that in itself is a brewing conflict. So you just wanted to communicate on a problem on ground, but you already run into another problem of you're not even being heard. No. So we need to pay very strong and close attention to the principles of communication. You must be heard, understood, revalidated before you start talking about action to follow. So when you now want to take an action in resolution, if we're to situate this in marriage, two of you are supposed to be one. There are some fundamentals. You must protect that sanctity of unity in marriage. And that is why we teach about how to develop what we call an us solution, US. that is a solution for us.
For the two of
For
you.
the two of us. Not, and that calls for first, the first step, you take the offense or the issue from in between the two of you, put it in front of the two of you. And the two of you maintain a closeness of saying we are still united in this venture of marriage. Nothing can come in between us. So we now start looking at that issue and start saying, yeah, fine. So how do we address this issue? And
So
get a
we
comforting
are
solution?
addressing
We
it.
addressing the issues. Even though it emanated from either of us, it could have been out of a misunderstanding, a genuine mistake, or a deliberate mistake. But we have to accept that we are still united in all fronts. Then how do we address this? And that makes, honestly speaking, a whole lot of a change in attending this solution. Yeah. Of course, we must not forget the preamble of saying we must admit that we have a problem or we have a conflict.
That's almost like a mindset too.
Exactly.
Like you have the mindset of us, we are addressing this, not just
problem.
It's your problem.
Exactly.
So you do it.
There's no pointing of what? Of fingers. So some stars that we bring from our backgrounds, like, oh, okay, somebody is always right, whether it is the strong man of the house, it could be a man, and it could also be a woman, because we have seen examples on both sides. That can be the strong man of the house and wants to have only his or her own way. It doesn't often help or help well with a lasting solution. The one that works best is protect the sanctity of holy matrimony, that the two of you are one. You have left all things to cleave together as one, and nothing. Bible says,
nothing put asunder.
God has put together, let no one or anything put asunder. So you keep that one. It makes your life easy to solve this problem. By now, I just say, what can we do to solve this issue? That's a very fundamental one, because we have an issue. And they don't live in denial as if, oh, we didn't have a problem. It was her own problem, or it was my problem. No. It's our problem. I want to address it as our problem, resolve it with our solution. Then the next step is to now develop a couple of options. You'll be suggesting it one by one, write them down, and then start trying each one on that solution, on that problem. If number one works, fine, you stop there. If it doesn't work, you don't say, you see, oh, that was your idea, and you see that it didn't work. There's no point of accusing. It was one of our ideas. That one didn't work, we'll put it behind and try number two.
Try the next one.
Try the next one. And lo and behold, you keep on trying. Even if you try all the time and it doesn't work, develop new set of options. And you can, if you don't have more from within the two of you as one, you can now agree, who are those our confidants? Let us explore. That's the principle of the old and adage methodology that we call SWOT analysis, SWOT. After having exploited the strengths and weaknesses which are internal to you, and you're not getting too far, then you now exploit the opportunities and threats from the outside of the two of you.
Resources
Around you to still get a solution.
Yep.
Praise the Lord.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Pastor.
That's the pastor.
Yes, that's awesome. So now, okay, so that's good. I mean, like we're trying to develop and improve on the skills.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, we were not born with the skills.
Absolutely.
That's why we talked about the background, our childhood experiences. Of course, there are some of you out there that your parents actually did a great job to show you how to do these things and how to resolve things, how to do good communication, and you have the skill already and you're using it. For the most part, a lot of us didn't have that. And we were just got ourselves thrown into marriage, and we just are wondering how to do this. Why is she not understanding me? Why is he not understanding me? I'm saying it the way I've been saying it for like the past 30 years, and what is wrong with it? Something is wrong with this person. And so sometimes we think that ours is right, mine is right, yours is wrong, and then we start to conflict. So any ideas for us on what is the right resolution?
The right resolution. I think the right resolution is a resolution that the couple is okay to go without
Together?
together, without any further
Conflict?
no, without any drawbacks.
Oh.
Because they agreed to go with it. If it fails, they did it together. It's not that, oh, you did it like my brother said. You know, they did it together. Yes.
Yeah. And when somebody wants their own way, because that's one other thing that we've heard about. They want their own way in everything. Like this must be the way to do it. Or this is, I've made the resolution. Why can't you just follow this resolution? Why can't you just go with this? Because two people come together from different backgrounds and they expect that they won't clash or they won't have conflict.
That's a myth.
Yeah.
And I think it's an opportunity also to honor the other.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, it's, you know, people say, oh, we fight over small things. Why would you fight over small things? If it's small thing, then you shouldn't be fighting at all. It's like, okay, you want my phone? Maybe you can take it this time, right? You know, it's part of honoring each other too.
Absolutely. Give and take, right? That's what marriage is all about. One party can't be adamant. It must be my way all the time. You know, once in a while we can let go. That's the mutual respect we also talked about. Mutual honor, honoring each other, submitting to each other, you know, in love, out of love, because of love. Honestly, some things I don't want to do, but, you know, because I love him, okay, it's all right. Let's go that way. And we take it as our solution, like we're saying, not that at the end of the road, if it doesn't work out. You see, if you had listened to what I was saying that last time, we would not have been in this situation. No, once we decide that this is what we're going about, it is, we're together in it.
That's right.
But let's give ourselves, cut ourselves some slacks, right?
Yeah.
Like you always say, it's a principle that works. Life is not so hard. You know, let's not take it too seriously. Let's be light about it. Okay, I'll let you have your way. Okay, if this is what you think, you know, this time around, let's do yours, and we go on. You know, life moves on.
Wow.
And sometimes too, maybe there are two things that's causing conflict. Sometimes one can give a space for the other one to go first, right? Because sometimes those two things are important, right? It's just that which one goes first. And we can honor each other by saying, okay, let's do this first and we can do that. Or instead of going to Disneyland for 2 weeks, why don't we just go to Toronto for 5 days, you know, and do something like that and then do something else.
Yeah, honoring each other. We can't talk enough about honoring each other. Like, it's just the main thing that we need to be doing in our marriages. Honor each other, and it's very important. So we need to continue to develop the skill, and you can learn these skills. I mean, find ways to get the resources that we are talking about, whether you go for the marriage course or you go for counseling or you talk to some professional who knows about all these things. It's not only when a problem starts that you find a professional that can help with some things. Some of these things, like these communication skills and conflict resolution skills, we need to learn. And there's a lot of resources out there that can help to enhance and improve these skills.
I think the ultimate is to get to the point where both of you are, you know, you are like working so hard to please each other. I want to please you, you want to please me. So it comes to a point where you say, oh, you know what, okay, let's go your way. No, your way. No, your way.
Oh my, that would be awesome.
It's like, okay, we just do one thing. That's the way we desire. That's the ultimate that we're desiring to see marriage come to, and it is possible. It's not impossible to get to that point.
And I think it begs a very fundamental crisis in homes that we need to kind of highlight at this point, without wanting to belittle what many of you are going through in your homes and families, and that is this attitude or lifestyle of the Lord of the Rings, you know. And the boss here, and the sergeant at arms, what I say goes.
I'm the king of the castle.
King of the castle. God has made me the head of this home. Please don't abuse that headship. Let us not misinterpret what the scripture says. We should take the scripture in very good context. The opening paragraph to those areas where people go to misquote roles and responsibilities, which we shall soon come to later, is that you must submit one to another. And it's just simple that God is not an author of what? of confusion. Instead, God loves us to do everything decently and how? And in order. It's in the scriptures. So for that one, he set an order in place to say, okay, where two of you come together as husband and wife, let the man be the lead. It does not override or run down or discountenances the second party. No, you are two. It takes two to do what? To tango. So the two of you are still one in that boat there. The head cannot say, I want to go to northwest, and the neck says, no, I'm going to southeast. Then they go nowhere. Is that not true?
Mm-hmm.
So please, head, sir, and Lord of the Rings, let us come down from our sycamore tree. I'm ready to work with our spouses.
That's awesome.
And honestly speaking, the moment you can come down, you will be amazed about the amount of solution that will follow immediately. But we will lose solutions when we are still haggling and fighting so much about who is in charge or who is not in charge. May God help us in Jesus' name.
Yeah, and I think when we realize that two heads are actually better than one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another level. Yeah, we're better together.
Exactly.
We're better together. Okay, let's look at our question for today.
Absolutely.
So you want to help us?
Sure. Let's take the first one.
That's easy.
Make it easy.
What is a decision you both made together in true agreement?
To do what?
That's a simple.
In true agreement.
In true agreement. That's a simple answer. Mm-hmm. We decided to get married together. Said to have kids together. Said to move to England together. To Canada together. So, you want more? We decided to have salad last night.
Together.
That's very together, right? You agreed.
Yeah. There's a lot of disagreement that cause conflict, right? And so, okay, there's another question from that. Okay, let's first answer that question, okay? Because I want to bring up a question about disagreement. And when they say agree to disagree, personally, I don't buy that phrase.
I know.
Who else should have known?
But anyway, let's answer this and then we'll delve into
the decision we took together, you know, and
as husband and wife,
true
agreement.
In true agreement.
Apart from getting married.
But that's the truest agreement.
Which is why you are here.
That's the truest agreement after all.
So what agreement to do?
The question is in your court.
Is it my I should answer it. Okay. I think one, decision that we've made is how we bring up our children, how we are united in the front that we put before our children. I love that very much. And my sweetheart is always, even when I'm overdoing it, poor guy, and he's fuming, but he can't say anything because we've decided that we present a united front. And then when all that is done, and then he calls me to the bedroom and says, but that was too high-handed. So that is one agreement, decision we've made together, and it has really helped us.
That's a great one.
That's a really important one too.
Yeah. So no matter what, honestly, even when I'm doing wrong, in front of the children, we have decided, both of us, that we will not say anything. We are together because the children are fantastic psychologists. Once they see that one part is like, they will cash in on it.
They will use it
very much.
Yeah,
so God helped us to be able to do that.
Wow.
And
that's beautiful. Beautiful. So help me with that question about agreeing to disagree. What is it? Like.
Well, can I answer that?
Yes.
Because you just said it, right?
Yeah.
When you have a united front, you disagree to agree. Then you talk about it later, right? Because your husband may not agree with your 100% handedness, but he's agreed with you.
Yes.
And then he calls you to the room, and then you talk about it a little bit.
That's one way.
For next time, so that he doesn't get to.
Another way could be that, okay, you know what, on this particular issue, you and I could not come to an agreement. So we're going to park this issue which means we are agreeing to disagree on this matter and park it for a season.
In a parking lot.
In the parking lot.
Parking lot.
Until we find an agreeable solution.
Yes,
So in the meantime, it's an agree to disagree. And I think it's almost a ploy to avoid that ultimate judgment we mentioned a while ago about, do you know which side of the world they're going to wake up tomorrow morning? And the scripture says, before you go down to bed tonight, settle the issue. So I'm saying that we have agreed though. So don't tell me that we didn't agree. We only agreed to do what? To disagree. So there's an agreement.
Yes.
And that agreement we are believing will suffice for the two of you to say, we are not staying in conflict.
Yes, yes.
We have just
I
not
agree.
reached a solution to
yes,
that particular point, but we are not in conflict. So God, please, do not count it against me or count it against her. Should you call any one of us home tonight so that we don't get to the gate and say, hey,
Yeah.
you have a baggage.
Wow.
No extra
Yeah,
luggage.
that's-
I left it in the parking lot before I left yonder. So please check it. You will find it in the parking lot.
Very helpful.
It does, because in a particular solution, in a particular situation, I may be sold on it 90%. My spouse may be 20%.
Exactly.
So it also gives time for either for me to come down from my
Convinced.
90%
Exactly.
or for my wife to go up to 50%. So it kind of opens it up to a better solution, or so that helps too, I think.
That's what some people call time will tell or time will heal. It's just like saying, like, give yourself a slack sometime to go and reflect on it. And you might just wake up tomorrow and just say, you know what, I think what you said yesterday night
That's right.
might just jolly well
Might be
work.
right.
Might be right.
I think it's just bringing love and liberty and
Into
freedom
practice.
in marriage. You know, we can be angry. I look at the police officer in the Calgary streets. When you've done something wrong, what did they do? They just say, excuse me, ma'am, can you step out of your vehicle, ma'am? And all that, but you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to
They say
shout.
it calmly.
Yeah, because they have authority, they have the power, they have everything, so they don't need to. So it's
Flex
a,
muscles, you
yeah,
don't need
so
to.
that's the way it should be in marriage too. You can be at low, you may be, I can never forget this couple that we counsel. You know, there's so many different times we counsel couples, and one will sit in the north, the other one will sit in the south, or east or west. You know that there's an issue. Well, these two people, they came together holding hands, and they had terrible issues. It was interesting. And they sat together, they were even holding hands.
Oh.
And they were talking about this issue that they can't just not agree on. So they have agreed to disagree. So it's not the end of the world, it's life. We will never do the same thing, we'll never think about the same thing. So if we know that that's life, then why are we struggling? Let's give into it, and have a joyful marriage and move on.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. I sorry. I
Oh.
We disagree to agree till tomorrow.
yeah. So we agree that we disagree on this.
Yeah, it's
So
okay.
we put it away until next time when we talk about it. And okay. Well, that's where we end today. Thank you all for viewing. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much for this brilliant discussion. And you have any questions, comments, or anything for us, just email us, text us, see us on social media, and we will connect with you. Thank you for coming. See you again. Bye for now.